Reuters.
Hello and welcome to Reuters Global Coverage. I'm Fred Katayama in New York. Students are grieving at Virginia Tech University just one day after the worst shooting massacre in U.S. history. Joining me now to discuss the shooting's impact on the students is Tom McIntyre. He directs the graduate program in behavior disorders at Hunter College in New York. Welcome, Tom.
Good morning, Fred.
Great to have you here.
Thank you.
All we know about the suspected gunman is that he's a South Korean, a fellow student at the university, resides in a residence hall. Police have given no motive for the shooting. You've studied school shootings in the United States. What typically sets off gunmen at schools?
Well,
what's the motive?
the origins of human behavior are highly complex and not easily deciphered, and pat answers are difficult to find. But there seems to be a mix of factors that vary depending upon the individual and the situation. But that said, there seem to be recurring themes. There seem to be intertwining threads between the incidents. And essentially what we find is a troubled mind that has been exposed to emotional pain beyond its ability to cope with it. And then the idea forms, a plan develops, weaponry is accessed, and the plan is implemented. And essentially, these folks feel victimized. They want to strike back at those they believe gave them the emotional pain. They're externalizing the blame. They're putting it on somebody else, failing to see how they play into this. But unfortunately, when we have a troubled mind that invariably comes from a dysfunctional household, has been exposed to violence, and this is the coping strategy when one experiences too much stress. This is how one handles it. And so the message being sent is, this stops here. This is payback, or I deserve importance, I deserve respect.
And Tom, following up on that theme, what can schools, universities do to stop these people from erupting, from taking action?
Yeah. Certainly we have to armor the vessel. We need the security guards, we need the magnetometers, we need those security procedures. But my focus is more on the social climate within. We need kids to feel like the adults or the authority figures in that setting care about me, that this is a place where I am valued, where I am emotionally intertwined, where I am socially accepted. And invariably that we find these folks do not feel a connection to that place, to that community, and it's easier to hurt those who you don't see as being connected to you, as being different.
And finally, Tom, the students, the victims of the massacre, a lot of them had physical scars as a result. Emotional scars as well, I would assume, perhaps survivor's guilt. What will they be experiencing, and how will they cope?
I think what they're experiencing is beyond my feeble words to try to explain what happens after such a horrific event. I will say that there are websites out there for people who have experienced trauma, how professionals can intervene and help these folks. But there are a number of things. The university needs to set up a place where people can go to grieve, to be together, to mourn together. But there needs to be the professional help. There needs to be the assistance. And even though some folks won't experience the trauma for weeks, months later, they need to say, you know, I'm finally starting to feel this. I need to go and talk with somebody, and not see it as a stigma, to see it as a support to help them get over this.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Tom, for discussing this important topic.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Tom McIntyre from Hunter College.